International tourist arrivals would grow by 4%, and the Caribbean would experience a 1 to 2% increase in tourist arrivals. However, none of us could have anticipated that COVID-19 would become a pandemic of epic proportions, altering life as we know it, and adversely affecting all business sectors, not the least of which would be tourism. As COVID-19 turned into a full-blown global crisis, we had a front row seat to witness its molecular attack on every microorganism of the world's tourism ecosystem.
Government extended the unemployment insurance coverage from the Barbados government from 22 weeks to 26 weeks, after which severance became due. The hotels did not need and could not find the resources to take back all of their staff, with a handful of 2 to 3 night stays in-house. So the alternative was severance or the best program. It always leaves me astounded when you hear some comments. One of the comments I heard not too long ago was that the hotels had not done as well as usual. You know, that's the understatement of the year, right? And these are hotels that had nobody in them at all. My preference would have been for the unemployment insurance to have been extended until the arrival numbers reached a predetermined point. And this would have required the further extension of the 26 weeks for claiming severance. But government said they could not find the money to do this. It seems to me that this is more of an accounting problem than cash flow for the government, because they are willing to make $300 million available in this BEST program. Came up with the BEST, which is a program whereby they would put up to 300 million, a figure that I think came from it being close to the total severance that would be due from the hotel sector. So 300 million. So they would put this into the hotels in exchange for preference shares, convertible to ordinary shares if not repaid within a specified time, and on condition that the hotels take back staff in numbers that they cannot afford and are not needed until occupancies pick up. I have a real problem when I walk about it here. People say, boy, the hotels get everything. If you gave me time enough in here, you would all start to cry when I tell you all of the problems that the hotels really have to face. And the proof of it actually is when you look around Barbados, very, very few companies in Barbados have been willing to invest in the hotel business. That should say something. Anyway, so back to the BEST program. It also requires that the hotels pay 80% of the insurable earnings, which meant that hotels, in addition to paying 80% of the wages and salaries, had to pay 80% of the service charge paid by the guests. And this was the year that was used for this figure was the best year on record, 2019. So in the worst year ever, we would be paying 80% of the best year ever. So this is 20% more than the national insurance was actually being asked to pay in that 26 weeks that went by. The BHTA and government continue to work on this program to increase the take-up by the hotels. But what should be made clear is that this is not free money or a subsidy, as it is often referred to in public and by several different parties. Not saying that we're trying to mislead you. Far from it. It is in effect a cash injection which not only must be repaid with interest, but carries demands in terms of numbers employed, etc., and is secured by companies having to issue shares to government every 2 months. So they'll pay towards the payroll, and then you have to issue shares to them every 2 months in order to employ all of this additional staff.